Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make you eat. Are you hungry? Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday evening. It is 6 p.m. in the evening, and I have a very special guest. Somebody who we had a conversation yesterday, and it wasn't nearly 60 seconds. I said, this is my girl. So, everybody, I would love for you to give a great big warm carnivore quest welcome to the lovely Anna Maria, Italian Gone Carnivore. Can you say hello, Miss Anna Maria?
Hi, guys. It's so good to be here with you. And Cassie, that's my homegirl right there. I love being here.
I knew we were going to get along famously. I'm like, yeah, we got a couple Italian girls, one from south of Chicago, another one from Pennsylvania over here. So how could you not?
Originally from Brooklyn. So, that's
Oh,
wild.
well, then there you go. Even better yet. An Italian from Brooklyn, that gives you some serious street cred, mama.
Right?
Oh, well, first, I would love to say hello to some people in the audience. Can you see the comments?
No. Oh,
Okay.
hold on.
You may go to that little
Yes.
comment banner. Boom. Okay. So we have Joyce Butler, Miss Mama Bear, Lynette, Amber. What's up? We've got Sarah. Hello, Sarah. And who else? Oh, Larry's in the house. What's up, Larry? And Tirza. We've also got Pursuit of Bliss. Hello. Hey, Mark. How you doing? Tracy. Hello. Miss Lori. Connie Knight. I love that lady too. I love Miss Connie. And we have Angie Sings. Hello, Angie. How you doing? And we've got Dee in the house. And I need to wear my glasses. Is that Dunnies? It is Denise. Hi. And Mama Mac. Hello. Marnie Mac's here too. Hello. Hi, everybody. How we doing? It's a lovely, beautiful Sunday morning here in South Carolina. What's the weather like over in Pennsylvania?
The weather in Pennsylvania, we had glorious weather. Guys, it was like low 70s, no rain. The sun was out. I was in and out, walking barefoot on my lawn, just loving it, trying to get a little bit of sun and really relaxing. So beautiful, beautiful weather.
Get some of that good August vitamin D, yeah?
We need that.
Yeah.
We need it. It'll be winter
Absolutely,
soon.
we do. And that's the best source, and it's free. You don't have to pop a pill or anything like that. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
It's hot where you are, right?
It's always hot where I'm at, even in January. No, January it does get cold. It'll hit 0, but it doesn't linger at all, So the winters are very easy compared to what I'm used to, but the summers are very hot and extended. But anyway, Mrs. Anna Maria, would you please just tell a little bit about yourself for those who don't know who you are? Could you just give a brief introductory of your lovely self, please?
Sure. First, I just want to say I read the comments as well, and some of you are reaching out. I know we text once in a while when I'm on Carnivore Quest lives and all this stuff. So hi, guys. It's nice to see you. I'll tell you, I am first generation American, Italian girl raised in a very strong Italian family unit, right? It's me, my mother, and my 2 brothers. I'm the oldest of 3. Guys, I don't have anything bad to say about my childhood, by God's grace. Very strong childhood, loving parents, quiet, reserved, not incredibly expressional. They don't really express their affection, but my dad passed when I was 19 and I was his princess. So threw me for a bit of a loop at that point in my life. But I've always been plump, heavy. And by the time I was in college, oh boy, it was hard to function. I developed lipedema at a young age. For those of you who may not know, it's a connective tissue disorder of the legs. And you retain an awful lot of liquid in their abnormally large legs. But having said that, I tried all of my life, low fat diets. And I think I tried Jenny Craig at one point in my early 20s. I tried so much, like I really was desperate. yeah, it didn't work. At one point I did, maybe some 12 years ago, I did go on like this. I minimized the calories that I was eating. Like I was watching everything and I lost a lot of weight. But after a while, guys, that may work for a season, but your body's always looking for a balance, right? So it kicks you over, and no matter, you can eat nothing and you start to gain the weight. You don't feel well. So I went through a rough time until somebody who I love, I don't say who it is because he's really private, and because I love him and he's family, I don't say who it is. I watched him. He started like doing 3 and 5 day fasting. And I was like, you lost your stomach. Like, what are you doing? You know, weird stuff, really. And he's like, yeah, I was pre-diabetic and my numbers are doing great. And I'm like, hold on, fasting? So I start looking it up. That same week, my boss is doing some keto stuff. And I'm like, the heck? I'm looking it up. I'm like, okay, Lord, what are you telling me here? I look it up and, right away my flesh was like, no, this causes kidney issues, right? Because who wants to give up the cannoli? Hello? Right? We're Italian. Our food was amazing growing up. It was homemade pasta, homemade bread. The sweets, I can't even tell you. We're having an event next Sunday. This week I'm going to be baking a lot of different cookies because I help my mother. I honor my mother. I don't partake, but yeah, it's part of our traditions. A lot of things that I died to personally, but they're in front of me. They're here all the time. Bottom line is I did the research and I was broken. My highest weight was 397. Yep, I was 3 pounds under 400, could barely move. And all I kept thinking was, instead of me helping my mother, she's growing older, she's going to have to take care of me. She's going to I'm going to be like on my 600-pound life. Like I really believed it.
You were on your way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was on my way because nothing was stopping me. And by the way, for me, it was the carbs and anything sweet, specifically chocolate. If it didn't have chocolate, it really wasn't worth my time.
Right.
But yeah, like I would think nothing of sitting and just devouring a lot of chocolate ice cream and cake, just eating. So I cried out. That's the night. I remember it was the night before Memorial Day of 21. Man, I was broken. For 2 years before that, I was doing like low carb and I managed to knock off some weight, like 46 pounds. But it was like I was so sporadic, like boom, I just couldn't keep it straight. And so I understand when people tell me, oh, I did so good, but I binged today and I had bagels or whatever. I get it. I was there. I did that for 2 years and it was hard. But that night I broke down because I twisted my knee doing absolutely nothing but preparing barbecue meat for a skewer while I was sitting. And I'm like, I can't function even sitting down. When I got upstairs that night, I literally, and if I can just say this, my faith is my foundation. I literally cried out to Jesus and I just said, please, Lord, I'm going to give you the things that I don't know how to control. Please direct me. Please. That's all I said. Guys, I told him I'm giving you sugar and I'm giving you grains, right? That's what I didn't know what else to do. I engaged. That next morning I came down. Of course, it's my niece's birthday. My mother's got trays of lasagna. I'm like, Mom, I'll help you. She's like, well, here's your dish. And I'm like, no, I don't eat pasta anymore. Oh, blessed Lord, my poor mother. I thought she was going to have a heart attack. What are you talking about? Anna Maria. She was flipping out on me. But that woman's eyes lit up like a Christmas tree in the coming weeks because the weight, boom, 10 months of low carb, intermittent fasting, 120 pounds down. So it was the first 46 was like 2 years of like being a biscuit. I just couldn't get it straight, but at least I tried, right? Then the commitment came, and then I had to do one of those elimination diets. I had to, because something IBS, something still wasn't right. And when something's still not right, guys, we might have to still tweak, right? How many times we try our best to do the right thing and we're losing the weight, we're feeling great, but there's that nasty, what is it? So I did the elimination, and man, 30 days, and I was loving it. Then I said, you know what? The best is after 90 days. I'm reading all these testimonials. By the way, that counts, guys. When I read your stuff, guys, Cassie, Larry, when I read your stuff, when I hear your stories, it's possible, Lord. That's my cry. I'm like, they're doing it. I'm doing it. Guys, if you're out there and you're like hitting a wall, or maybe you're completely engaged in doing it. Yes, amen. It's possible. It's possible. I love reading the testimonies. And that to me was encouraging. So after 90 days carnivore, I ain't going back. That's it. It's been 17 months. 17 months. I can't believe it. And I'm constantly changing things, guys. Right, Cassie? We try different things. And then we realize that the voices come in from other very well-meaning people. And that's when things start to get confusing. But as far as I go, I know who I am. Thank God because of him. Number one, foundation. Number two, I know what works for me because I had to try. I had to fight. And I'm doing it every day.
Heck, yes, you are. And
God.
like you said, you're changing things up, right? Because it's not one size fits all. And you've had to tweak things because for some people, it seems that just a particular meat, which you don't realize how it's affecting you, and then you remove it and things change. You may feel a little better. It's like, maybe there's something to this, like a lot of people, I think, you and I were talking about this too, and there was somebody else, pork. Yeah. You gave up pork?
Done. Guys, I was the bacon and pork belly queen. I would go across town. I saw pork belly or something on sale, or doesn't matter. I would load up my freezer, but before I would freeze it, I would cut. Yeah, but ready? How critical is it, Cassie, that we continue to educate ourselves? We learn new things, and then we realize, okay, this very thing might be a hindrance. So there was some stuff going on in my blood work after having very clean blood work, right? It scared me. Hold on. Fear is a miserable thing, but it can be an amazing motivator because I'm not going back there. I'm scared. I don't want to go back to no 187 pounds more, guys. Yes, no drugs, no surgery, only the grace of God and going whole hog, whole food, and eventually carnivore. That's how my body contoured differently. Everything changed. But having said that, I read about pork and what they feed them. Very hard to find clean fed pork. And I read about their bellies, one chamber. When they eat, they don't really digest too much of those seed oils, corn and soy and seed oils. And that stuff stays in their meat and in their fat. Oh, I got to eat it and I got to deal with it when I eat it. I don't want to deal with all that omega-6. It puts you in an inflammatory state. And my liver was crying out. I was consuming too much chicken and too much pork. So I made a decision. Why? Not because I wanted to punish myself, but because if there's truth to this, I'm going to check my blood in a month and see. AST and ALT were so elevated. But by God's grace, when I cut those things out, boom, in the low teens, 30 days. Isn't that, Cassie, isn't that crazy?
That's the proper human, I like to say it, the proper human diet strikes again. The miracles never cease to amaze me. Even if I've heard the same story from 10 different people, it still is amazing to me. It's a miraculous process that we're going through. And so much healing going on, and it's just it's awesome. I love it. I love it. So I'm sorry, please continue.
Yeah, no, I'll only tell you, I'll share with you guys. Sometimes you do everything that you can, guys. And I mean it. You lay down the processed food, the sugars, the grains, you move your body more, right? You try to drink your water, you limit your coffee, but sometimes, guys, it's too late in a certain area. And I had that experience. I did. I didn't know that I had gallbladder disease. I honestly didn't. Being that I went carnivore, my gallbladder was doing so much better, like a ton better. I had no symptoms. Can I say this again? No symptoms. Gallbladder people are being rushed in. They're having surgeries and they're all infected. They're inflamed. They have to be cut open because sometimes it's so bad. I don't mean to get gory, but I go and I'm looking at this liver stuff and I'm like, why is my liver stuff elevated? What's going on? My doctor, thank God for him, he said to me, ultrasound, it's time. Let's see what's going on in there. And sure enough, guys, ready? I'm going to be 52 in November. And no, I'm not ashamed of that. I'll say it. I'll scream it from the mountaintops because the Lord preserved me and I have life. I'm so grateful. But for 49 and a half years, you ready? High sugar, high carbs, low fat intermittently because I was trying to lose weight. And guys, that's the diet that causes gallbladder disease right there. That's what causes it. Did you know that? Because when we eat fat, our gallbladder contracts to what? Release the bile. But if you're cutting back on fat and you're eating sugars and carbs, oh my goodness, the bile increases, crystallization happens, the stones form, things start to happen that are not good, and the bile's never released, and there's issues. Even though I cleaned it all up, that gallbladder became a liability for me. And I know a lot of doctors online say, don't do it, don't get it out. But I had a very strong online doctor. Can I say his name, Cassie? It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The carb addiction doc, Dr. Saives. I'm very grateful that he accepts my insurance because I don't have money to throw around for people, right? I had 3 visits with him. And on this last one, he was like, yeah, girl, all that work you did to get cleaned up and you're healthy, your organs are good, your gallbladder is a liability. And I was so upset. But you know what, guys, I either deal with it now or I wait for a flare up and then there's a chance they got to cut me. At least this way it was laparoscopic. And I want to testify. I have to tell you guys this. I had it done last Friday. It was a very late operation. They had issues in the operating room before me. Very late. I had it done. I am like very virginish, guys, when it comes to drugs. And my body just, even Advil, there was a season when I was in my teens because of my back, I would take them, but I don't even take an Advil. Like, it's very rare. I'm just that kind of person, one of those. Man, they gave me something in that recovery, and I found out later it was fentanyl. Yeah, I didn't respond well to it, and my body was just like, "What are you doing?" But the bottom line is, I went in there, fasted 30 hours for my surgery because I knew that those cells, the mitochondria, all the cells would be doing good things during the surgery, right? 30 hours fasted. That's wild, just water. And then by the time I got home, I ate at the 48-hour mark. Guys, not one Tylenol. They gave me Percocet. Let me tell you, God leads you to the best diet, the most anti-inflammatory diet. And when you have a surgery, you heal that much faster. And I'm so stinking grateful. That's what I have to say. On day 4, I went to work. On day 5, I was driving. Meanwhile, my doctor's like, 10 days drugs. I want you to have bed rest. I'm just like, who's he talking to? No, this is not how I got to work. And by God's grace, thank God. So when you're on an anti-inflammatory diet, that's most of the battle, guys. There it is. And then, you're touched, you're cut open, I got to heal. But I'm good. you go through it. Sometimes you need the surgical intervention, especially in a case of this chronic inflammation, and you don't even know it because you have no pain. Why? Because I'm carnivore. I'm healthy. It works for me. The fat was helping me, but that damage was done because of the 49 and a half years. So I took care of business. Let's pray that's the only thing. I don't need nothing else. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. There you have it.
And that's amazing. Would you tell them the story about when they showed your gallbladder?
Oh, yes, sure. So
I thought this was fascinating to me. That's why I want her to share this.
Yeah. I wanted my gallbladder back so I can bury it in the yard. I'm one of those weirdos. I don't know what they're doing with my body parts. I don't want to be a part of science somewhere. I don't know what they're doing. So I think of everything, right? So I'm like, Doc, I want it. Like, put it in a jar, do something. I'm going to bury it next to a tree in my yard. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I'm not giving you. Come on, Doc. Wait. He's like, I'll tell you what, I'll take pictures. I'm like, okay, all right. But you promised me they're going to get rid of it? He's like, yeah, they do pathology on it and they get rid of it. All right. He shows me these pictures. Oh, I would love to flash it up here right now if anybody wants to see it, but I don't want to freak out your audience. I had the prettiest gallbladder. Can I tell you? It was so cute. It was thin and long. I looked them all up online. Oh, they're nasty. Some of them are like fat and gushing black stuff. And please, mine was clean. It just had these corn kernels, like 18 or 20 of them. They were tiny and it looked amazing. So everyone that saw it, even the people in the medical, I was showing them, they were like, dang, that yours is pretty. And I'm like, the heck, why are they telling me it's pretty? Then sure enough, I look up the images online. They're disgusting. It was cake for the doctor. This one was cake. He went in, he plucked, he came out, and he was just like, Anna Maria, you're great. He checked me beforehand. And this is another thing. All that intermittent fasting that I did, I really believe the autophagy helped me with the loose skin. I have very little loose skin. So when he touched my stomach, he's like, you got nothing. I'm like, no, I got some loose skin. He's like, listen to me. You got nothing. You're fine. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm quite happy. I'm good. But thankfully, all of that was squared away. And that my gallbladder was pretty. Did you ever? That's hysterical. I've never heard of such a thing.
You need to put it in a frame,
Right?
I kept put it on your bedside table, or actually make that your banner or something. I mean, seriously, when you're looking at all the others and they look moldy and gross and fatty and ooze and stuff, and then you look at yours, it's like, hey,
I just realized that Sean was online, and Sean was one of the first ones. I texted him the pic. He's like, yeah, I seen it. Yeah, he saw it. He was brave. It was
Sean's seen a lot of things. He's got no problem. He was probably
right?
thoroughly impressed by that. Like, hey, that's a good looking gallbladder you got there, sister.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you've done amazing, and you are such an amazing light for the community, not just with your success, but your demeanor. I mean, look at you. You're just happy-go-lucky. You could see the spirit, running through you, and you're awesome. And I think everybody needs to know about you, because you're just, I mean, you and I, we spoke yesterday. We were on the phone a little over an hour. I felt so good after talking with you. I did. I mean, it's just like I was buzzing. There was just like this little buzz going on, and just it little effervescent pops going on. It was awesome, and you're really something special, somebody special, and I am so pleased that you are here with me today because you're awesome.
I'm so happy too, because you guys have been such an inspiration for me. I was thinking about it 2 days ago, and I'm like, I think I've been watching them for a good year, and I'm gonna say it. I don't even know how many we have here, but I'm going to say it for all of us. You guys are so real and so sincere. We know that. And so the good, the bad, and everything in between that you share, that ministers to us, because we're not, these are not pipe dreams. This is reality here. And we need to see it. We need to hear it. We need to be encouraged. And we need to know that everybody struggles. And then there's that hope, right? It's possible, whether you have 5 pounds to lose or 400 pounds to lose. All of this is possible daily, slowly. And I'm going to say it by the grace of God. It is. We don't realize it, but he's at work. I really believe it. And I'm excited. Yeah.
Let me pose this to you. Now, this is one thing, and it's been something that has been on my mind lately, and in our Facebook community. Somebody had said something about, carnivore, blah, 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 and veganism or something. And it just kind of clicked for me. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for everybody. Okay. But it just seems that the majority of carnivores are believers. And where I'm not saying that's with veganism, because I went vegan, I juiced and I was whole food and I was vegetarian. So, I mean, it's not that there's a mold, you're carnivore. Okay. You're Christian, you're Jewish, you're vegan, you're atheist. I don't know. But so it's not that. It just seems that the majority of people are that way. And it seems that it is God led. Now, I fully believe that we were led to this diet. Well, keto first, we were on the low carb spectrum, but that's where we got our start. And then ultimately, we're on carnivore. And as we were talking, there still needs to be tweaking done, no matter how long you're on it. And one thing that I'd like for you and I to talk about, again, another topic that was brought up in group, actually by Miss Amber. I think she's still in here. Excuse me. It's specifically talking about all the different types of fasts, the information on one end of the spectrum goes on the other end of the spectrum from people in the same niche, the carnivore space. Eat butter, don't eat butter, add your fat, do the sardine fast, drink 128 ounces of water every day. And it's quite literally very confusing to people, especially new people coming to carnivore, right? Because they're hearing so many different things from so many different people. They don't know where to go. They don't know what to do. They're confused. And it may even hinder people from even attempting it. Well, I don't want to eat a stick of butter a day, right? So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. As you started sharing, I don't know if you noticed my eyes. I make faces, girl. I can't be phony. You could see it on my face. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. I really believe that there are many people with some solid intentions. They saw an issue. They wanted to tweak things. Maybe it worked for a few. So they ran with it. Then there are those, we have to realize it. There are those who even bear the name of doctor. They have this title and they're selling supplements and they're pushing certain things. And there's a lot of racket. Here's
Money
my
hustlers.
thing. You ready? Oh, yo. Let's be real, right? It's not just those with good intentions. It's those that, they want the Benjamins.
There are more out there than I think people would like to know as well. There are more people, money and fame hustlers. And it's really hard for some people to use discernment when there's always a fake smile on your face and you're always peppy.
And that's what it is. And they're always willing to answer your text and let you join their group and all this stuff. And it is not easy. But here's what I want to say.
Yeah.
When I decided, I was looking around because look, I'm going to tell you, I'm from Brooklyn, came from a strong, right, Italian family. All my cousins were there, my aunts, my uncles, not my mother's side, my father's side. My mother's side is still across the pond in Italy. I was always around people. I always had friends. We always had gatherings. And then I had a strong church family, big on evangelism. I was always in the midst, right? I was always out there. When I moved out here to Pennsylvania, I did it because I have a brother who has 11 children. 11 by one wife.
That's a lot of kids. That's a whole lot of love. In one house. Yes. I love it.
they are my own because I never married and I don't have kids and I'm good, but I love having these kids around. Love it.
Mhm.
And I want to tell you, I moved out here and it's me and the chipmunks. It's bad. It's like, there are certain reasons why, I don't know, guys. It's the culture maybe that's different. You can definitely find, you got to put yourself out there. I'm not going to bars. I grew up. I'm done with that. There was a season. I ain't gonna find anything in the bars. I'm sorry to tell you, except maybe a headache. I can't deal with it. You go to bingo night. Oh, what are you doing? You ain't trying to kill me? I have no interest.
Hey!
What do you say? I have no interest in bingo. So even just for friendship, it's like, dang, it's not easy. And then, I'm single. So you do meet a lot of married couples and they're cool and I hang out with them, whatever. But guys, it's like slim pickings here. So I got a little lonely, and then doing this low carb and then eventually carnivore journey, Instagram is really where I post a lot of my stories and a lot of encouraging messages. I just started my YouTube. So that's really where I'm at. And I started to see some things. I went to like Dr. Lisa's meetup last year. I was only 4 months carnivore and I met them in New Jersey and I was like, oh, cool. They're not too far away. There's a lot of people here. Some of them even came in from Canada. And then this year I went again. But in the last 9 months, I only did 3 months sporadically of group coaching. Now, let me tell you something. I don't mean to sound proud or arrogant or anything like that, but I lost my weight. I'm not looking to be coached. Can I learn still? Yeah. Look at me. I'm always reading. I buy reference books. You tell me boo, and I'm looking it up. It doesn't matter what it is. I want to understand the gallbladder. My next thing is thyroid. I want to understand it because when the body's stressed, it freaks out. Yeah, I want to understand what we can do to strengthen ourselves, right? So I'm always learning. So that's why I felt the coaching groups, that would be cool for me because it's a community. I can glean, right? I glean from everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. I watch you. I mostly learn what I don't want to do. But if I can learn something good, I glean. And this is what I always say, guys, no one knows everything, but we all know something. Everyone holds these tiny golden nuggets. I'm willing to share, and I pray that I find others. Cassie, Larry, dear God, they're willing to share. They're on here sharing. Those are huge nuggets. We run away. We come away with a lot. We glean, right? So I don't always have to agree with everything that everyone says in the carnivore realm. I can't because there's so many different opinions, but you can't agree with everyone. But I will say I joined one in December, then in February, and then again in April. And it was Kelly Hogan's group. I did it for community. I did it for friendship. And when she heard my story, she's the one that kind of blew it up and did an interview for me. And yeah, then she encouraged me to do a YouTube because there's a lot of women that are culturally, right, used to eating the same way as us, whether they're Italian or Spanish, whatever. You could be Irish, but culturally, food is so big. There's women who are 300 and 400 pounds that don't believe that they can do it without a surgery or without some kind of intervention surgically, So she said to me, you have to share your story, please. And I really prayed about it because I'm like, oh, Lord, it's crazy online. These people, they hang their dirty clothes. And I'm like, but I don't have to hang my dirty clothes. I'm not looking to be stupid. I want to help. I want to inspire. So I prayed. And in May, I started my channel. But having said that, the community stuff, I was learning things, right? So I got a little cheeky. I wanted to try the high fat thing, the 80-20, that whole eat the butter, right? Oh, blessed Lord. I did it for 2 weeks and it stalled my weight. Stalled my weight loss. Like, don't mess with me. In like all that time, I never showed less than like 2 pounds of weight loss a week, maybe 1.5 pounds. Like, what's going on? Why am I stalled? And then things were just happening in general. Was I feeling better? Yeah, there was something going on where I felt a lot of strength and I felt like I could sleep better. But I ain't trying to gain no weight. I ain't trying to maintain. It wasn't time yet. It wasn't time. So one of my visits with Dr. Saibas, he said to me, hey, I want to tell you something, just as a reminder. He really, I feel like he's more like very fatherly to me, and I appreciate it because I'm very open. Not that you can't really tell that I'm open, right?
No,
I'm
no,
very
I've never met such an introvert.
so I shared with him a bunch of things. He made sure to tell me, do fun things. What do you like to do fun? Because I never really don't know what fun is. So I started painting because I love to paint. Look, I got all kinds of you see little things all over my room. I love to paint flowers. It doesn't matter. He encouraged me in so many ways. And then he said to me, by the way, there's a lot of carnivores talking out there. Anna Maria, you have the best diet for you. You already did it. It doesn't mean we've arrived, right? Cassie, we never arrive. We're always learning. But he said to me, don't listen to them because everyone's in a different place and you have to do what's right for you. So stick with it. When he said that, I realized something. I needed to hear it. And sometimes you need to hear it. So I hear about sardine fast. Manja. You like the sardines? Eat them. I'm not pricking and checking no glucose. If you need to and you're diabetic and you got to check yourself, that's different, people. But I'm not doing no ketones and cauliflower. I don't know what these people are pulling up on. No. I don't even do macros. I never did that. Look, guys, I cook the meat, right? I eat it. If I'm still hungry, I usually judge like what Dr. Chafee once time said. He actually said, if you're eating and you don't really know if you're full, if you look at it and it kind of looks good to you, you still want it. So just finish it. You're fine. And you know, that's what I do. I always ask myself, am I really hungry? Yeah, no, I'm not really hungry. Something's going on that might be pulling me in that direction emotionally, right? We become overwhelmed. Things happen. But no, overall, I hear a lot of voices. By the way, the egg fast, the sardine fast, gosh, the 90-10 and the 80-20 fat thing. Look, it may work for people. I'm not knocking them. Go ahead, have at it. Not this girl. Right. I'm not touching it.
Right. You know what's working for you, what worked for you. No. And yeah, I mean, it's just there's different options out there. And like I was telling Amber, I said, these are options. They're not absolutes. You know, you have to play around with your food and see what is working best for you, because it worked great for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to work well for you. So, and that's it. We constantly, right. At least until we get in that perfect groove, you got to tweak things, you know, just got to keep tweaking until you find what's right. But we were also, you and I were talking about how carnivore has almost morphed into something unrecognizable. And, you know, listen, I have been the first one to say, eat your artificial sweetener, drink your coffee, eat your cheese, do this, do that. Now, listen, and I've also said, I'm learning as I go, because Rome wasn't built in a day. This weight didn't come on overnight. I didn't develop terrible habits overnight. You know, it's going to take time for some people to finally get it. But, you know, and I almost hate to admit this, even though it is truth. Chafee's right. He is so right. He's so right. Eat your meat and drink your water. Optimally, for optimal health. That is the path to take. Whether I follow that advice is a whole other ballgame. I know what I need to do and what I don't need to do. And I know what I'm doing wrong. And this is one of them. And we were talking about this September, right? We're going to give it. We're going to do it. It's gone.
I love it guys. That we have each other. I love it.
Yep. This is going to go in September. So that also means the cream goes, because I don't drink coffee without cream. And I'm certainly not going to put butter and element in it, because I'm trying to get away from the coffee, right? As Chafee says, it disrupts your mitochondria. Well, we need that to be healthy to heal now, don't we?
That's right.
So that's right. We're gonna do it. We're gonna give up all the garbage. You have a lot less garbage to give up than I do.
So, and
But
I want to tell you, if you would have told me, if we would have shared this in March, I was still eating pork. I was still eating chicken.
yeah,
I was still doing dairy, So slowly, I had to come to a place of, okay, is there something that is potentially a hook in me? Because let me tell you something. I didn't come this far for something to creep in and get a hold of me and pull me so that it can disable me again and have victory over me. No. I'm gonna declare that loud and clear with a strong stop after that. No. So, dairy, I'm gonna tell you something. For some people, it's inflammatory. For this girl, it is.
this girl.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. So we know this. I know that it is, guys. I had I'm gonna just tell you, the burrata, it's like a mozzarella ball with ricotta inside. Listen, us Italians, yeah, we know how to eat. That's all I'm saying. We know the good stuff. We just do. That stuff is so good, right? So on the holidays, I'll indulge, right? I'll have a look. That's my indulgence. I don't eat the cannoli. I don't eat the lasagna. I eat a ribeye, and then I'll eat a bunch of cheese. And blessed Lord, I struggle so much. I have pain. I have a lot of pain and discomfort. Why? Because remember I told you, there are some things the damage is done. So if you have a case of intestinal diverticulosis, guys, anybody at over 35, there's a good chance your intestines have had something. You might have pockets. When it's itis, it's inflamed. And that happened to me when I was eating cheese. So guess what? I laid it all down. Pork, chicken, cheese. I even let go of the heavy whipping cream in my coffee. Cassie, I know what you're talking about, girl, because that was just the most luscious thing. I wanted it 2, 3, 4 times a day. And I was managing with everything else, right? I was still maintaining my weight, which is where I wanted to be. I wanted to maintain. But when I cut that out, I realized that thing was a hindrance. So then what do I start to do? I put a little bit of good butter in my coffee, just a little bit of butter. It works. It's so creamy. I put it in the NutriBullet. It was so good because it looked like a latte. But then, I don't know if I told you this, but I cut it out. This is my 3rd day. No more butter in my coffee.
Oh no,
I
you
just
didn't tell me that.
Okay. Yep. Black. I just put a pinch of Redmond's real salt. That's it. A pinch.
And you do have plans. I mean, you're planning to cut it out. You know it needs to go.
I'm done. So I've already done half calf, half decaf. Mm-hmm. And I do buy the good stuff, the mold tested, 3rd-party mold tested. I do. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I'm just doing my best to. It's great flavor, by the way. I had one of the local carnivores, who's also a very sweet sister in the Lord. She came over today. So we had a little fellowship, which is desperately needed. So we loved it. I made her a cup and she's like, it's smooth. She really liked it. Half decaf, right? And it doesn't make me anxious. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I have straight up coffee, I'm not going to lie. There's seasons where I'm like, I don't feel good. I feel anxious. I have to drink water. I have to eat right away just to kind of absorb whatever's going on. That's your body telling you something. There's another hindrance, right? It's there. So I love that pursuit of bliss. Yes. Everything seems so stinking complicated. Guys, I used to make the egg white breads. Right. With the gelatin. I used to make the bagels.
We made it complicated. Yeah.
We did it. We don't need, listen, let me tell you something. We don't have to kill it and grill it. But go ahead, get it, grill it, and eat it. That's, to me, that is the best way. And honestly, it satisfies. It satisfies me. I'm good. Good fatty red meat. And now I am tweaking again, right, Cassie? Not just the coffee, but I'm predominantly ruminant. So I'll eat beef, lamb, elk, bison. If I can find goat, man, somebody tell me. I will ship it to my house. I'll eat it. I want ruminant animals only. Why? The 4 chambers, They destroy everything that they eat nutritionally. It's more wonderful for us. Less omega-6, less inflammation. Anybody have joint issues because of cartilage issues? Again, things we're born with, things that's too late to fix. Guys, we got to do everything that we can to try and strengthen and build up. I don't want to go under the knife for a knee replacement. My doctor told me you need one. I'm like, you can forget it. I'm going to do everything I got to do. Strengthen my muscles, strengthen my bones. In regards to body composition, I'm getting rid of as much fat as I can. And you know what? It's going to be okay. I'm fine. I can't do this, guys. We have to fight through and make the best choices, get rid of the hindrances and move forward. That's where I'm at.
It is a fight, and it's always going to be a fight.
It's a battle.
Who really wants to just eat meat? I mean, some people do, okay? But really, who wants to just eat meat? I mean, you and I, we're both Italian girls. Hey, give me a slice of lasagna, give me some cannoli, give me some delicious garlic bread with all of that and some mollica, to put on top. But that's not helping us at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite, right?
No, it hurts, Cassie. No. Can I tell you a deterrent for me? And I hope it helps somebody out there. Guys, I remember the pain. Okay? I didn't digest well because I would manja too much. So I would always have some kind of stomach issues. Always. My nieces and nephews, they remember our Sundays. And now things are different the last 2 years. I don't have pain. They're the ones with the pain. And I talk to them about stopping all those Doritos after a big Sunday meal. What are you eating Doritos for? I'm like, I go crazy with them. I'm like, no. I buy them beef jerky with nothing in it, just so they can have good snacks. I do everything I can because I love them. I want them to have a fighting chance. But let me tell you something. I remember that pain. But not only this one. How many of us were ashamed? I was so stinking ashamed because everybody was like, oh, you're such a pretty girl. Oh, shame.
Oh, you have such a pretty face.
Pretty face.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, that was worse than a kick in the stomach to me. What are you trying to say?
Yes.
And it's the same people, ready, that are like, would you just eat a cookie? It's not going to hurt you. And I'm like, oh. But when I couldn't walk and I was swollen and I was 397 pounds, you never sat me down to say, listen, you have your whole life ahead of you. You're such a pretty girl. You're so smart. Honey, get up. I'll walk with you. You want to walk a little bit? No, you didn't do that. But now that I'm doing good and I feel great, and besides that, I like the way I look. I'm so stinking comfortable in my skin. It's not even funny. I'm so comfortable. Before, I didn't even want to see myself. I have so few pictures of my before. So few. Because I hated pictures. I didn't want to be seen. It's disgusting, right? I can't stand it.
You would hide behind somebody. That was always my classic maneuver. Here, let me get behind you, Larry.
Yep, just let me hide.
Nobody
just
needs to
I'll
see
just
this
show
body.
a little bit. If I can get a smile in there, I was fine.
Yeah.
But it's the same people that I'm like, are you for real? Like, no. The answer is no. Why? I don't ever want to go back to that shameful. I was so shamed because here I am strong. I'm a strong believer. I have faith. And yet my testimony is dwindling because I cannot overcome this. It's a spiritual state, guys. It is. That's for another talk. But I want to say this. This addiction thing is real. And I'm a firm believer that I was addicted horribly. That's why I don't even think about taking a bite. It's cockroaches to me. We make trays, biscuit trays, cookie trays, amazing things in my house because we're gifted. We're both from Southern Italy. I'm sorry, Southern Italy has it. Corner on the market. We know how to cook. We know how baking. Hello, artisanal bread. When I make that stuff, I'm like, I overcome. You know why? It's cockroaches. Do you eat cockroaches? Because this girl don't eat no cockroaches. I don't. My mother goes, that's sin. Don't say that. I'm like, Mom, no, it's not sin, honey. When I touch that stuff, if I eat it, it's the most poisonous, nasty, disgusting thing for me. For me, you do whatever you want to do. But this girl, I'm abstaining. If you could eat a bite of something and be fine until 2 weeks later and have another bite, Lord bless you. That's not how this girl is wired. And I'm
Nope.
real with myself, right? I can't do it. You eat the
We
cannoli.
have to be, because telling somebody something else, you're only fooling yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell anybody, you can't fool yourself. You know, you can try, but it doesn't work out. And we know what we need to do. And you're absolutely right. I mean, maybe cockroaches is a great analogy. I usually just say poison, but I like that. Cockroaches are nasty.
Yuck.
But yeah. All right. If you don't mind, I would absolutely love to get into some of these comments. I've got something from Amber and Dan. So September, it's a challenge if you want it to be. I know it's going to be a challenge for me, but I encourage you. It's going to be a take on lion. What I'm going to do, of course, I probably would have started by now, but vacation. And no, I'm not going to shove bread in my mouth or any more dairy, because I'm done with that nonsense. Other than a little bit of cream and butter. Until September. So yeah, it'll probably just be like steak and eggs, ruminant and eggs, things of that nature. I'm going to keep it very clean. So something to give you something to think on, chew on it for a little bit and see if you want to take that step. But I'm telling you guys, after me making that cheesy recipe, and not just one meal. So it was like a 4-day binge, and it was awful. And I'm not feeling great after that. But yeah. So there you go, Amber. You might want to think about it. And I'm really going to do it this time, in spite of the other 10 times I said, I really mean it. No, it's time. I feel it. It's time. There's no going back. So Miss Joyce says, my stomach hurts and I get horrible miscarriages when I eat bad. Yeah, Joyce, we've talked about this. You've had several, and you know, it's shame on the government for allowing all of this garbage food in. You know, you can almost tell, like when we're talking about the addiction, right? You can't always tell an alcoholic, you know, unless they're real bad and they're slurring their speech and they have a red face or they're passed out on the street. You can't always tell who is a drug addict unless they're totally tweaking, but you can almost always see a food addict, right? I mean, it's pretty evident who are the food addicts. And yeah, that pizza was so cheesy. I'm sorry. My eyes are ping ponging back and forth, but yeah, shame on the government, shame on big pharma, shame on all of them. And you know, I don't know if you caught the last live, Anna Maria, but we were talking about, I don't know if you know this, that Philip Morris owns Kraft Foods. Did you know that?
I did.
So I thought, you know, if anybody would, it would probably be you. It blows my mind away.
Demonic.
You're
There's no
right.
other word. No other word.
You're right. It angers me to no end. Like Joyce was saying, you know, she had miscarriages and the food addiction. You know, you were sick. You were almost 400 pounds. I was pushing 300. I was about 5 pounds away from 300, and I was to the point where I was daily, just your basic daily activities were chore. You know,
Yeah.
and it was getting more and more difficult to be mobile. But
yeah.
It just it angers me. I have this fantasy, but I'm like, yeah, we'll all have targets on our back, and probably just me saying it's going to put a target on my back, but you know, I'm covered. There's we should just all get this amazing lawyer or two, a couple handful of lawyers, and just sue the crap out of everybody. You know, just start with the lawsuits.
You know what? I know class action lawsuits actually. I think they have some power, but my
money
whole thing
talks. I mean, it would take an awful lot of us to get it going. It's been on my mind for a few weeks. I'm like, we should sue every single one of them. They sued the cigarette companies because they made cigarettes addictive. They're doing the same thing with food. Okay. And we know it. And the companies that own the cigarettes, you know, that are manufacturing cigarettes, they're making our food. I use that term very loosely.
Right. Food-like substances.
Yeah, Frankenfood, exactly. Food stuff. I don't know. It's just it gets me mad every time. Every time.
I do want to say to you that when it comes to the whole big pharma thing, I do have my take on it, and it's very similar. Even the doctors, I'm sorry to say it, not all, it's all rigged. The whole thing is prescription, right? Prescription first. We're dealing with symptoms and not the root cause. They get you on the cycle of drugs. When those drugs tend to kind of wear off a bit, they put you on another batch of drugs, right? And they keep you there in their pocket because that's where they want to keep you. The doctors get the kickbacks. I'm sorry, but it's real. And the hospitals,
you're right.
Their protocols are horrible. There I am after surgery, they're checking me and I'm 77 glucose. And I'm like, awesome. They're like, no, here's cranberry juice. Here's apple juice. And I'm like, wait, what? They're like, here's they were trying to give me graham crack. I said, no, I don't consume these things. I'm fat adapted and my body produces the glucose that I need through the food that I eat, which is meat and eggs. And they're like, I thought they were going to put me in the insane asylum, in the ward, where they give you more drugs because there's something wrong. Finally, I just said nothing. I even made sure that my drip was only 1% glucose because they got nothing else. You either go and do it the way they want you to do it or you don't get the surgery done. But I just made sure that drip was only 1%. It's not going to kill me. I'm not eating chocolate, candy. I'm not doing that.
Right.
But they were, until they got my sugar to 100, they were so upset. They kept calling. She refuses to eat. She says she doesn't. I'm like, what in the world? It's not an easy thing. The way that it's rigged and the misinformation, but it's all rigged. The whole thing. I'm convinced. Even if we do see what they're doing, you bring evidence and it's still, oh, shame. They don't take care of it because they're getting kickbacks. No one's going to do the right thing.
Do you have any idea how much a drug rep from these big pharma companies make? It's absolutely, they're used car salesmen, but with drugs. And all the incentives that they give these doctors, 5-star vacations, brand new Jaguars, it's so the doctors are receiving it. They don't even think, which that's completely irresponsible on their part, in spite of what they weren't taught in high school or in college, medical school, rather. In spite of that, they're in the business of healing people. And don't you think that the standards in 1976 aren't the same as they are in 2023? Don't you think at some point in that span that you would have learned something about how nutrition affects your body? And maybe they are, or maybe they're the ones who have went to holistic healing. I don't know, but it's just amazing to me how warped the thinking is in the medical industry. I've got several stories. I've got one recently, and you and I talked about this, but that's something I'm saving for a video because it's really deep. But it's just how quickly they want to pass the football, pass you along to somebody else. Here, go see this specialist, go see that specialist, get this scan, here, you're in the hospital. Oh, the first food you can have after my cancer, is after my ruptured appendix the previous year. And I hadn't eaten in about 4 or 5 days. The very first thing they gave me was a dried up piece of French toast with some maple syrup, garbage in a plastic container. That was the first food they gave me, on top of all the soda I wanted, all the soda in the world. I'm like, I'm a dummy with a high school education. How is it that I know that's not right, but you're doing it? And I don't get why more medical professionals just don't walk out and say, this isn't right. There are other jobs out there. I don't know. I'm getting on my soapbox. I'm off it now.
But I'm with you, sister. Power and control is what it's all about. And unless it's going to take divine intervention to stop this nonsense. I'm serious. That's what I believe.
Or a big old fat lawsuit. Come on, guys. Let's do it.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Anna Marie, you and I will lead the charge, Mama. It's all good. I'm sure there will be
we need to talk about this. After your vacation, we need to have a little bit of a shindig.
Yeah, it's a thought. I'm always, not the David against Goliath, but I like being the underdog, and I like taking down corruption. I do it pretty well too.
I
But
love it.
I can sniff out a bad apple, and
I
there's a
love
lot
it.
of
That's good. Very discerning spirit. That's a beautiful thing.
indeed, madam, indeed. Yeah, Amber says there is no money in the cure. It all comes down to big pharma and government's deep pockets. I've been saying this for years. You're right. And I think almost everybody, probably what 95% of us in the carnivore space, we know this. And the other 5% are newbies that will soon learn it. That'd be my guess. We know this. We know they're pushing this agenda, and people are sick. And I don't know.
Incidentally, my primary care physician, I had to let him go because he was so annoyed with me that I was intermittent fasting, and he had tried to give me like antidepressants and sleeping pills to try and help me lose weight. Then he told me work out every day and only eat 1,000 calories a day. So he was basically trying to kill me, break down my metabolic system. He's just trying to kill me.
Yeah.
So when I confronted him, I actually shared with him a few names online of doctors that quite honestly don't agree with him. And I said goodbye to him because I realized, nice guy. What a nice guy. Love the way he treats my mother, kisses her on the forehead. And to me, you treat my mother like that, we gonna be friends. So we are friends,
Right.
but you're not my doctor. You're not referring me to anything, because he just believed that I lost all the weight because I wasn't eating. Meanwhile, I kept a food journal from day one. I know exactly what I ate, what I drank, how much I slept, guys, how I pooped, everything. I wrote everything down. And homeboy was like, "Oh, so you don't eat, that's why you got thin." And I'm like, what in the world? Like, do you have like a learning disability or something? I'm trying to tell you something. You're just not, it's just not, what's going on here? It was making me crazy. So I had to let him go. And sometimes we have to do that, guys. Let it
He
go.
had dollar bills in his ears. That's what that was. He had dollar bills because he
There's
couldn't
no
treat you. He
curing
couldn't make
that.
any more money off of you. And he doesn't
That's
want you
what it
telling
is.
anybody else.
I ripped up the prescriptions in front of him. I don't need
Oh,
antidepressants. I'm not depressed. I'm telling you, I'm struggling to lose weight and I'm learning. And he's like, "Oh, I think you got issues. You got to go for testing." Yeah, no, I'm not getting help from this realm. So I got to do what I got to do. And that's what I
I,
did. I had to take it on
I've
myself.
changed so many doctors since moving down here. I think I'm on my fifth, and I'm not so sure she's going to stay. And I did tell her, although I've been seeing her for a few years now, and I told her, I said, the only reason I come to see you, because I do not see any other medical professional. Obvious, I have trust issues, and she almost took that as a compliment, but I thought, you're kind of the only reason. Then I said, I'm on levothyroxine. If not for that, I'd see no one. I wouldn't see anybody unless it's an emergency, and there's plenty of ERs nearby, and yeah, I've tried getting off my thyroid medication. I never weaned myself down properly. And let me tell you something, folks, that tiny little pill that you pop every day, I have to. It's a necessary evil, because I was knocking on death's door when I did get off it, and I won't do that again. So I am trying to wean myself off, but I told her, and as soon as I get off that, I'll dump her too, because I'm a little upset with her and her very quick judgment without using any discernment. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, doctors, they're something else. They are something else, and for some reason, their word is gold, and everybody follows suit
It's terrible.
except carnivores.
Amen.
All right, let's get around to a couple of questions before we wrap things up. I know there were a few, and if you have one, just go ahead and pop a Q in front of your question. I will go back to one. I know I did see one from Sean. That was a while back. I'm like you, Sean. I don't know if you're still in the live.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
It takes a little bit. There it is. So let's see what Sean has to ask. Sean asks, What is something that you see that needs to be changed in our community to help it grow and help others? And what can influencers in this space do to bring it about? Why don't you go ahead and take that one, Anna?
Okay. The word that comes to me is more mercy. And what I mean by that is if these influencers, look, they work. A worker is worthy of his wages. I get it. But sometimes I really wish that it would be more of kind of like Dr. Chafee, how he shows up on a Friday night and shares with everybody, freely giving, freely
Yes.
being a blessing. I want to tell you something. I know so many women that they join some of these groups that they can't even afford. And they just do it because they feel like they need to be a part of a community. They don't really learn too much because they don't apply it. And then they contact me. And I'm just like, blessed Lord, like you people are like, they're sucking you dry. I
Yes.
sometimes, right? I just sometimes feel like, look, you received a blessing. I have a full-time job and I thank God for that. If there was a different kind of need, if I started to get equipment for my YouTube channel, or if I started to make certain other things available and it took time and editing programs, maybe I'd have to consider something too. But let me tell you something, not at the expense of running people dry like that. I hear too many stories. So I think more mercy, more of you guys like Dr. Chafee. I'm not saying that at some point you shouldn't become life coaches or coaches in general for health. But what I'm saying is keep on, because there are so many people who cannot pay the way that these structured payments are. I don't understand it. So that would be my big thing. If we would just lay that down and be more merciful rather than entangle with all of this charging and making a buck. I don't like that.
I totally agree with you. Larry and I, we've had our channel almost 3 years. Okay. Not that we're certified or anything. We are certifiable crazy, certifiably crazy. But one thing that we have done, okay, we have learned because we've made so many mistakes on carnivore, and we still continue to do so because I'm going to tweak it here, right? But we spend literally hours responding to people who are in great need. And, I just give them my best advice, just do whatever it takes to keep yourself on track. Because one thing I'm finding, I slipped again. I fell again. I couldn't make it past 2 days. I couldn't make it past 2 weeks, or I had a great run for 3 months and then cookies happened. I think there needs to be more of a unifying message rather than eat the butter, eat the sardines, do this, don't do that. Here, try this, don't try that. I think that, and there are a few of us that have that same mindset, you know, maybe, I don't know. That's really a good question. I think one thing's for sure, and I'm probably going to get some heat for this, guys. And again, I said it before, I'm learning here too, but these carnivore recipes, y'all, they're maybe for somebody who's first starting out, or maybe for somebody who is completely healthy. You lost all your weight, you get A1 checkups, your organs are completely healthy, you are in tip top shape. Those are fine. Okay. But for the majority of us who are healing, these recipes, I'm telling you, I don't think they're doing anybody any good. And I may change my stance on that again. But as it stands right now, and from my most recent experience, and it's like, old habits die hard. And whether it's a carnivore or ketovore or whatever, old habits die hard, and you can sneak right back into your old ways, and overeat, like we were talking about, like the oopsie cake, right? It's like, okay, it's carnivore, right? The first time I made it, and I had to make like 3 of them because I was doing a recipe video, and I did 2 for the recipe and then 1 for the actual family gathering. I made 3 of those things over the holidays. And guess what? I did throw some of it away, but the majority of it went in my mouth. So I think that might actually be a good idea, is to abstain and just, gosh, it's going to suck just eating meat and salt. But abstinence is really going to make a big difference for all of us who are trying to get healthy, because we're sick. We're diseased.
We're sick.
You know, we're sick. That cheese, oh no. You got, I mean, it took a slap in the face for me to finally realize it. And even though I knew it, but to finally really own up to it, I don't know. It's
same.
It's, yeah, but anyway, I'm going off on that again. I'm going to get off my soapbox here again.
Oh, I love it. We're so much in agreement. It's unbelievable.
I mean, it takes time, because I never was on that bus before. I was not. It's like, no, eat your cheese, make your recipe, and maybe that was just me saying, hey, that's what I needed at the time. Did I really need it? I don't know. Had I been able to stick to strict BBBE for months on end, I don't know, because I never gave myself a chance. I'm like, okay, after the 30-day challenge, now I'm going to try something. I'm going to give myself a treat. I deserve it, but I didn't treat myself. In fact, I harmed myself. And yeah.
I'm with you. I get it completely. I get it. Yes.
I know you do. And I love that we're on the same page with that. And I think that could be a way, Missy, is, you and I have conversations, and we have this crusade, right? I want to go and save the world and make people happy. I don't know about you.
Wow. Yeah, girl. Come on.
Let's save the world. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it's also showing people, I know, especially like it's going to be for me. Everybody's seen me eat the cheese. Everybody's seen me drink all the cream in my coffee. And now they're going to see me abstaining from it. So I'm hoping to inspire others, because I can't wait to feel good. I really can't. And, some people are thinking, what are you waiting on? Well, vacation. Vacation. Yeah. I'm not going lying before vacation.
Cassie, you're being real. You're not faking it here. You're putting it out there, and you're saying, hey, I'm doing this. I may do a little bit of this in there, not going off course. But when I get back, these are my intentions. Now, what if you were to go against that conviction? And what if you were to say, no, I'm starting lying tomorrow. I'm not. Come on. You'd be so miserable. And then come September 1st, to be honest, that's hard it's a big hump to get over. So the truth is, you have a goal. It's a short-term one, eventually leading to a long-term optimal health one, right? That's where ultimately, that's hopefully our end game, right? But the bottom line is, and I do want to say this, when we create those cakes, and by the way, Cassie, I'm like you, girl. We're Italian. We want to mess around in that kitchen. It is something in there, that whole creation thing. I could do it all, but guess what? That's just feeding this form of addiction. It really is. In my heart, you guys you do you. But for me, if I make a carnivore pizza, that's just feeding the addiction, because I used to eat my good semolina pizza so much, used to make.
Yep.
If I make a cake, it's because it's carnivore. Oh, it's carnivore, no sweeteners. Okay. It's just good. It's good. It's carnivore. You say the word and you're good. No, excuse me. Eat your food. You know what your food is? You know what really works for you? I know what works for me. And guess what? That's what I'm eating. I don't care what else hits the fan. I don't care what's happening around me. You do what you got to do. But for me, I'm eating the food that's going to help me, and that's meat. And for me, others can have some spices if they can tolerate. I always use the word tolerate, right? Because potentially the person next to me is fine with parsley and garlic. And I'm Italian. You don't think I want garlic in my food? Come on. I want it on everything. But I realized I do better eating animal-based. So my Redmond's real salt, that's where it ends for me. And I really enjoy it. So we have to make that decision based on what's going to help us, what's going to cause us to move forward and overcome. And that's where I'm at.
Overcome the addiction. See, we've transferred addiction from sad diet to carnivore. No, I'm not gaining a ton of weight. Yeah, I've managed to keep off, 80 pounds. I don't know
Huge.
what that's doing to me internally. How much is my diet helping? I'm sure it's helping. I don't doubt that. I mean, I can't imagine it's contributing too much to it, to damaging my body. But, it's just, all we're doing is shifting our addiction. So it's somehow we got to knock it out, and it's really going to take some work. You've done it, and you're doing it. It's going to take work. Everybody, carnivore is easy. You're going to lose 500 pounds in, a week and you're going to feel amazing. No more depression. It is, but
Possible.
you have to put in the work. Got to put in the work, and you have to learn, and you have to adapt, and you can't be afraid of, I gave up so much already. Now I have to give this up too. Well, how bad do you want it? That's my question these days.
Right.
How bad do
You
you
either want it or you don't. Exactly. If you want it, you pursue it. If you don't, have a good day. Leave everybody else alone who wants to do it.
Right. I mean, if that's the way you want to live, people have to learn for themselves too. It's like being in a toxic relationship, right? Having a significant other that you are blind, you are in love with this person, and it doesn't matter what the most important people around you are saying about this person, and they're all in agreement. They're toxic. It's not good for you. It doesn't matter. You could hear that all day long, 7 days a week. And until it clicks for you, it's not going to click. So, I mean, just take all of our advice, those of us who have made the mistakes, and if you can apply our mistakes to your success, gosh, that makes my day. I'm happy to sacrifice. I'll take one for the team. But, Anna Marie, this has been such a great conversation.
I've enjoyed it so much.
I have enjoyed it. I know our viewers have this. I would really like to do this again. And yeah, we're going to sue the medical industry.
I'm with you, girl.
Let's do it.
I'm with you. Class action.
You never know what can happen. You never know if the right person who wants to remain anonymous. I'll put my name on that bill. That's no problem.
Yeah,
I'll put
okay with
right
it.
up at the top. Yeah. I think, there's a lot of work that needs to be done in carnivore for sure. And, we have to tell people our truths, good, bad, and ugly. People need to hear the truth. They don't want anything sugar coated.
Yeah.
And it's just it. Just share your journey. You're doing amazing. You're inspiring so many people. Anna Maria, you have inspired me. I kid you not. And I am, we're going to do this in September. We're doing it. We're going to be at our optimal health by the beginning of next year. And, I am a firm believer in that. I don't know if my weight will go down. I don't know. I don't care at this point. I don't even care about that scale anymore. But I just want to feel good. And I just want to be healthy and live a long, healthy life, for my loved ones.
Amen. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely it is. Well, y'all, let's see. I think, we're almost an hour 20 in. I'm thinking that we're gonna. I see some people coming in a little late. Mr. John Gogahan, Johanna, and then we still have Susan in here. Mr. Kip is here. Hello, Kip, and Metamorphosis.
He's funny. Homeboy makes me laugh. He just makes me laugh.
He is a trip. I love Kip. Cats R Us. We got Peachy Pam in the house and Christine Cooper. I just want to thank you all for hanging out with us. And, if you have not yet, give us a like here. And also, if you have not, check out Miss Anna Maria, Italian Gone Carnivore. She is here on YouTube, and she's also on Instagram. She's an amazing force to be reckoned with, and she's going to change the world. She is going to change the world. She's going to do it one person at a time. And we just thank y'all for hanging out and listening to a couple of Italian ladies just kind of go back and forth. And it was really cool. So I hope you all have a most wonderful rest of your Sunday. And this is the beginning of your week. And I hope your week is awesome. And we won't be live next week because I will be in Florida. I'll probably be on the beach. So at 6 o'clock, this time you guys just think I'll probably be on the beach catching some sun rays, getting some of that good vitamin D.
I love it.
I'm so excited. If everybody doesn't know, I've only said it about 100 times since then. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys. I really had a good time. And until next time, if you have any words that you'd like to close with, Anna Maria, please feel free to do so.
Thank you. You know what, guys? We're encouraged. We stick together. We fight it through. Ask your questions. We have an amazing community here. Cassie and Larry have opened up their lives to us. So just keep at it. And I see so many questions now. You came late. I'm sorry. Yeah, mostly ruminant. Oh my gosh, yeah. That's all right. It's all good. We'll do an update at some point to see how we're doing after maybe 30 days.
I think that's amazing. Yes. Yeah.
Let's see
we'll do that.
Changes we'll make note of. But guys, Lord bless you. Keep looking up. It's going to be okay. Just take it one day at a time. Just keep it simple. Don't let anybody complicate things. And don't think that you're not good enough for this, okay? You really are. You're worthy of it, and it's going to be okay. One day at a time. Thank you so much. It's been so much fun. I love this community.
Thank you for joining us. And y'all have a great rest of your day and a great week. And until next time, no sugar, no carbs, no cheating.
Bye, guys.